consensus is that democracy of humanity, where the voice for the people, of the people, given a position. Let's talk. I would like to talk about a lot of things. I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I hope your friends are well. But I would like to talk about a few things. I don't want to make it a lot, but I think a different perspective, and I always say this, I think a different perspective is necessary sometimes. I don't know if you saw the movie The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. With Leonardo DiCaprio. If you haven't seen that movie, I suggest that you take time, if you can, look it up and watch it. And watch the dynamics of the characters, the relationships that they have. Now, I started out with that to say there's a lot of talk on social media about Jada, Pinkett, Smith, and somebody Alsyna, the Alsyna child. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there needs to be a different perspective on that. Jada Pinkett Smith went on the red table with her husband, Will Smith, regarding, according to him, Black Twitter inquiry into her relationship with the Alsyna child, or boy, whichever is necessary. I don't know. Young man, dear. He's a young man. She was supposed to be mentoring him. There's a lot to do about that. And about the relationship between Will and Jada, her behavior, his behavior. They're married. And people who are married go through a lot of ups and downs. As a Black community, we need to educate each other when things happen, not make light of it, not call it mess, not call it anything except experiences, unless it involves criminal behavior, So what I can say from a different perspective is the relationship between Jada Pinkett Smith and her husband Will Smith was going through some, can we say, extraneous times. That's their business, of course, but since they're celebrities, entertainers, they're in the public eye. They have children. They have other relationships with other people that are of importance to them. Of course, because they're in the public eye, we are interested in their behavior and the outcome of their behavior. And I believe that they know that. As a Black community, however, we have to educate ourselves. First, they're married. Secondly, their jobs are entertaining. Okay? They are entertainers. They entertain the public. Outside of that, they are not perfect. They know that. We all know that. However, the behavior between Jada and the young man that she was mentoring, I think is a situation where people are making a lot of speculations. If they're not speculating, I don't know what proof they have. The thing that impressed me is the fact that the Alsyna young man, he looked up or idolized Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone idolizing someone as long as it stays within proper etiquettes. So we're talking about, again, we're talking about morality and humanity. Was it the question? Here's a perspective that's different now. Was the treatment of the young man moral? Was the treatment of the young man humane? And it is from that perspective we need to look at the circumstance and situation as a Black community. That's what I suggest. So, of course, Will and Jada already knew that they were in a lifetime partnership, as they term it, and they have a right to term it as they so desire. Young Alsyna came into a situation based on many different comments from people on social media, based on what I gathered is that Jada was mentoring him. So, in a scenario where there's a married person and a single person, the question of mentoring is, was there an agreement? Was there rules, boundaries set to create a moral situation and to establish the humanity within which the interaction will be encompassed? Was there propriety set? Was there balance and harmony between the individual established so that there can be justice served between the individuals and the community at large? If those things were not established, then it is only fitting that the outcome would be confusion. Her coming to the red table and saying she needs healing is her prerogative. Her self-awareness that she needs to do some reflection and take action to create mending of herself is beautiful. And hopefully the young man, Alsyna, knows that that's the necessary steps that he needs to take. However, I don't think it is a thing of spectacle. It's a thing where, as a community, was the young man treated humanely and morally? Okay? Because he is the younger of the two. It's not an issue of truth and false, who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth. It's an issue of morality and humanity. Morality meaning right and wrong, humanity meaning kindness, the ability to be kind. I would say there was minimal humanity, minimal morality. Therefore, this created confusion. So you have the husband getting involved, you have the community getting involved, so that corrective action can be taken. This is not to say between the husband and wife there was a balance, because there's information that is being disseminated on social media about the actions of the husband and involvement in alleged situations that are inappropriate. So I think it's not an issue of throwing stones when they both live in a glass house. It's an issue of damage control, which is being done. It's an issue of cleaning up and trying to remend or amend, which is allowable because the two have a very long-standing relationship with children involved. That's their choice. I would like to say, when two people are married or engaged in a serious relationship, regardless of how it is strained, it is only humane for them to consider other people's feeling and treat them humanely and with due respect. That is important, to be moral, to be humane, to keep boundaries. There's nothing wrong with having a healthy, righteous relationship, being a mentor, but boundaries and restrictions have to be set so that there is nothing that is inappropriate. There is nothing that creates injustice. There's nothing that creates an imbalance. And then you don't have to answer to divine retribution because you violated these laws. It's not a free-for-all. It is unfair for someone to enter into a relationship, depending on how far the relationship goes, because please be mindful that we all have relationships. We have relationships with our parents, we have relationships with our children, we have relationships with our aunts and uncles, we have relationship with our friends, we have a relationship with our community, we have a relationship with our co-workers. Jada herself never said what type of relationship. She said an entanglement. What kind of entanglement? We do not know. Someone stating that they have a relationship is not defining the confines of the relationship in and of itself. People can speculate, but they don't know because they weren't there. Will can speculate. Unless he was there, he doesn't know. But Will himself cannot throw stones because, based on the information allegedly that's out in the community, he has been in many entanglements of all sorts. So he is the last one to judge. And I think in that sense he presented himself well. I would like to repeat, please look at the Great Gatsby. Please look at the relationship with the husband, the wife, and please look at the relationship with the guy who entered into a relationship with the wife and the outcome of that relationship and people who were close to that relationship and to their husband and to the wife. We have to be careful of our actions and the outcomes that our actions cause. And as a final statement, please remember, there is a consequence for everything that you do. Regardless of who you are, you're going to have to pay back to the universe. It is called divine retribution. So be mindful of what you do. Please be safe.